Well, good afternoon, visitors to the ASEAN European Higher Education Fair. My name is Adrian Veale. I work for the European Union at its headquarters in Brussels. And I am here to tell you a little about the way that we are showcasing what Europe can offer you in terms of study opportunities or academic career opportunities. We do this through a number of higher education fairs like today's event and through our Study in Europe activities. So what I want to make sure is that you have a full picture of the landscape of study opportunities that awaits you here in Europe. And also I'm going to say a little bit about the way that the EU can fund scholarship opportunities for students from ASEAN countries. So let's start by talking a little bit about the world's most popular study abroad destination. It is Europe. Obviously, the last 2 years have affected the numbers and volume of mobility, but it remains the #1 choice as a region for students. So we'd like you to consider everything about it. Let's consider some of the advantages about studying in Europe. We have 6 selling points, if you like, for what Europe can offer you. Let's go through them one by one. We have quality. So Europe has an agreed system. Countries have agreed to adopt similar structures and systems for higher education with this 3-cycle system. They've agreed on what constitutes a bachelor's, a master's, a PhD. European countries have over the last years and still today worked very closely together to align their systems. So it means that if you come to Europe, it's easy to move and to share teaching and learning between one country and another. We are launching a big project called the European Strategy for Universities that's actually a rethink of how higher education can be more effective, play a better role in society, at the workplace, and we increase effectiveness, digitalization, the green credentials of universities. All this work is going on in the European higher education landscape. Another aspect of this framework that we built, there's a framework for qualification recognition. So there are clear clear criteria about what constitutes recognition, and all these are agreed and assimilated across Europe. And of course, that means that European universities feature highly in rankings. But we'd like you to consider all of the range. I'm sure you'll be aware of some of the countries that are bigger or that have perhaps a more outreach, but it's not all about Germany, France, the Netherlands. Also remember that there are other smaller countries which you may hear less about, but they nevertheless have a long-standing, high-quality reputation for higher education. So look at the countries that maybe are new to you: Lithuania, the Czech Republic, Portugal, and look at the range of programs, because there are a lot of programs in terms of academic disciplines, in terms of volume. We host 2.5 million international students in Europe every year, and in fact, of those international students, more than half come from outside Europe. So we have the range, we have the capacity, and we have that international profile. So when you come to Europe, you'll often be studying not only with local students, but with students from other countries too. This international experience is increasingly recognized as increasingly important by employers. So if you have a study period abroad, that shows that you've gained not only the academic expertise, but a range of international skills which are very highly rated at the workplace. And I think also employers recognize the mix of practical and theory that makes up European higher education programs. They often involve at the workplace learning or traineeships. So they are clear steps up on the ladder to your initial career or to continuing your career if you're already started it. This means we've got, universities and the higher education ministries attach great importance to the student. It's student-centered, let's put it that way. So we have clear, simple administrative procedures. The healthcare systems are set up are geared to students, and you have a whole range of services and buddies awaiting you when you come to Europe to help you. I don't probably need to say, I don't need to do the work of the tourism boards, but there is an amazing cultural heritage that you can see where you're studying and where you can travel around to visit nearby cultural sites, cultural activities, or to do your tour of Europe. This doesn't mean, however, that European higher education is expensive, and don't necessarily make that link between high price and high quality. I think the fact that there's a lot of state investment in higher education in Europe means that you'll see a price differential. That doesn't mean it's lower quality. That means that it's just more embedded in the range of services that that countries offer to students. So you have some countries where higher education is virtually free of charge. So that's a sort of picture of the landscape awaiting you. Go and have a look at the different university exhibitors, the different country exhibitors, and you'll get a better feel for how that translates into what those universities can offer you. But I mentioned before the European Union. The European Union is funding today's fair, but it also funds a program called Erasmus Plus. This is a program that supports education, but a range of other policy areas, training, support for young people, for sport. But it operates through providing funding for different programs, for different projects, and for scholarships for individuals. And these scholarships traditionally have been for European students, but for a number of years there has been an important international dimension. So these opportunities that I'm going to talk about are open to students from ASEAN countries. And there are two sorts. One is what we call international credit mobility. These are short-term study periods as part of your degree that you would undertake in Europe, and you would come back to complete your degree at home. Or we have full degree programs at master's level called Erasmus Mundus, joint master degrees, which offer EU-funded scholarships. So a quick introduction to those. So international credit mobility is based on an agreement between a university in Vietnam or in Indonesia or in Cambodia and a university in France, Sweden, Greece, or Poland, for example. And they together agree to use European Union funding to send their students to their partner universities and to host students from their partner universities. So this is, imagine you are studying architecture at home. You would be able to go to a partner university of your home university to study architecture for a semester in Europe. Now, this works at bachelor's, master level. It also works for doctoral candidates. And we're talking about study periods of 2 to 12 months. Generally, it's a semester, half an academic year. These opportunities are also available for staff. Now, the important thing to bear in mind is that these opportunities are only available if your university where you are currently studying has an agreement with a university in Europe. So check with your international relations office to see if it has these agreements, and if so, where they send students and in what faculties, which study programs are open. That's one sort of scholarship. That scholarship pays for your travel to Europe and your living costs while you're there. The fees are waived, so that the two partners agree they will not charge fees to mobile students. Erasmus Mundus master's degrees are something different. That is a mini trip around Europe, in a sense. It's a 2-year full degree program at master's level, but it's offered by a consortium of universities. You see that on the visual, 3 or more universities all offering parts of the course, and a student will travel between at least 2 universities, often 3 or more universities. There, these programs offer full scholarships which cover the cost of taking part in the program, the fees. It will bring you to Europe. It will cover the cost of traveling between the different universities as well. And like the previous program, it has a contribution to living costs. So that's a competitive process. Anyone can apply. It doesn't matter which university you are currently with. You can also return to the academic world after a period of work. And the best ranked applicants will get the scholarships. This next selection, we have about 150 of these programs. These are all in a catalogue. So the time to look at these programs is now. Have a look at them. But the time to apply will be in the last quarter of the year, or the first months of next year. So late 2022, early 2023 for programs that are starting in September 2023. This is the catalogue. So just look up Erasmus Mundus catalogue, and that will take you to a list of all the programs that are open. This catalogue will incidentally be updated later, around September, to include some new programs that we're currently selecting. So 2 sorts of scholarships. One, if your university already has a partnership. The other, open to students from all over the world. I think I've taken enough time to present these now. I hope that you'll have a good look at the opportunities. Take a step back, look at this landscape that we've been through today, and I hope that you will make the decision to pursue your international study and academic career in Europe, and that we'll see you soon. So thank you very much for your attention, and enjoy the fair. Thank you.